The frozen winds of Kethra 7 howled through the crystalline forests, carrying with them the scent of death. Erin Vale stumbled through the alien landscape, her survival suit torn and leaking precious heat into the sub-zero atmosphere. 3 days had passed since the colony ship's catastrophic failure. 3 days since she'd watched her crew scattered across this hostile moon like seeds in a cosmic storm. She was alone now. Completely, utterly alone. The tracking beacon in her suit had died hours ago, its final beep swallowed by the vast indifference of this world. Erin's fingers were numb despite the suit's heating elements, and her breath came in ragged gasps that frosted immediately in the thin air. She'd read the reports about Kethra 7 before the mission uninhabited, they'd said. No intelligent life, they'd promised. They were wrong. The first shadow moved between the crystalline trees with liquid grace, then another, and another. Erin's heart hammered against her ribs as she counted them, 8, no 9 massive forms circling her position. They moved like wolves, but wolves had never been this large, never possessed eyes that glowed with such fierce intelligence in the perpetual twilight of this moon. The Kethral, she realized with dawning horror. The colonization reports had missed them entirely, dismissed the local fauna as primitive. But these creatures were anything but primitive. They stood nearly 3 meters tall at the shoulder, covered in thick fur that shimmered between silver and deep blue, adapting to the icy environment. Their heads were broad and angular, with 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern that gave them near-perfect spatial awareness. Curved claws, each as long as Erin's forearm, scraped against the frozen ground as they tightened their circle. Erin pressed her back against a crystal tree, its surface cold even through her damaged suit. She had no weapons, they'd been lost in the crash. No shelter, no hope of rescue. The universal translator in her helmet clicked in word, trying to decode the low growls emanating from the pack, but producing only static and fragmented syllables. The largest of the creatures stepped forward, its fur marked with streaks of white that spoke of age and authority. The pack leader, undoubtedly. Its lips pulled back to reveal rows of crystalline teeth that could shear through metal. Erin had seen enough nature documentaries to recognize a threat display when she saw one. She was going to die here. "I'm sorry," Erin whispered, not sure if she was apologizing to the creatures for trespassing on their world, or to herself for the dreams she'd never fulfill. "I didn't mean to intrude," the pack leader snarled, muscles bunching for the killing strike. The other Kethral echoed the sound, a symphony of predatory intent that vibrated through Erin's chest. She closed her eyes, unwilling to watch her own end. Then something small darted between the pack leader's legs. Erin's eyes snapped open. The smallest Kethral she'd yet seen, barely the size of a large dog, had broken from the pack's formation. Its fur was still fluffy with youth, ears too large for its head, paws oversized and clumsy. The cub couldn't have been more than a few months old by human standards. Miro, she would later learn, was his name. The cub approached with none of the pack's menace. Instead, it moved with the curious, fearless energy of the very young. Its 4 eyes, still bright and unclouded by the harsh realities of survival, fixed on Erin with unmistakable interest. Behind it, the pack leader roared a warning, a sound that shook ice from the nearby trees. Miro ignored it completely. The cub reached Erin and did something that changed everything. It pressed its massive head against her chest, right over her hammering heart, and made a sound part purr, part whine that the translator finally decoded. Warm, scared, like me. Erin's breath caught. Slowly trembling, she raised one hand and placed it on Miro's head. The cub's fur was impossibly soft, radiating heat that her failing suit sensors detected immediately. Miro leaned into the touch, and then, with deliberate intent, wrapped his entire body around Erin's legs and sat down, looking back at the pack with something that could only be described as defiance. The pack leader roared again, this time with clear command. "Come, return. Now." Miro's response was to press closer to Erin, his small body trembling but determined. His growl, when it came, was high-pitched and lacking the authority of age, but its meaning was unmistakable. No. The translator caught fragments of the pack's communication: shock, confusion, anger. In Kethral culture, as Erin would later understand, the young were never disobedient. The pack was everything, its decisions absolute. Yet here was Miro, the smallest and most vulnerable, refusing a direct command from the Alpha. Because of her. Because of a human. The pack leader approached, each step measured and deliberate. Erin expected death, expected the creature to simply crush them both. Instead, it stopped mere centimeters away, its 4 eyes studying her with an intensity that stripped away all pretense. She felt naked under that gaze, as if the creature could see not just her physical form but her very essence. Miro whimpered and pressed closer but didn't move away. Long moments passed, marked only by the howling wind and the sound of Aaron's labored breathing. And the pack leader did something extraordinary. It lowered its massive head and touched its nose to Miro's, then to Aaron's gloved hand. The gesture was gentle, almost reverent. "The young one has claimed you," the translator provided, the words colored with something that might have been wonder. "This has never happened before. Not with an outsider. Not with prey." The pack leader stepped back and made a series of complex vocalizations. The other Kethral responded immediately, their hostile postures melting into something else: curiosity, perhaps, or cautious acceptance. "You will come with us," the pack leader decided. "The little one has spoken, and sometimes the young see what age has forgotten. You are pack now, strange fur. Miro has made it so." Aaron felt tears freeze on her cheeks as Miro finally released her legs, only to take the edge of her suit gently in his teeth and tug, urging her to follow. The pack formed around them, not as a hunting formation now, but as protection, with Aaron and Miro at the center. As they moved through the crystalline forest toward whatever future awaited, Aaron understood something profound. Humanity had spent centuries preparing for first contact, building weapons and protocols and contingencies. They'd imagined wars and treaties, negotiations and compromises. But they'd never imagined this: that humanity's salvation on an alien world would come not through strength or technology, but through the simple, stubborn love of the smallest and most innocent among the stars. That a human would be saved not by what she could do, but by what she was: warm, scared, and reaching out despite her fear. Miro looked back at her, his 4 eyes bright with pleasure, and Aaron managed to smile. She was still stranded, still lost, still impossibly far from home, but she was no longer alone. She was pack.